Okay, about the electricity. Yes, there is a certain way that electricity must be made, meaning there is a certain thing to power those plants with. And I tell you, it's not coal, it's not diesel, it's not gas which is being from fracking, but it's natural gas. It has to be. And I'll tell you why. Natural gas is from reservoirs which are in the earth, which is, and may I say, more abundant than coal. Look it up. Natural gas is more abundant than any coal that there is, and is ready at the source. All that's required is it to be is a pipe for it to go through and to be collected, and that's it. Same with water, and it evaporates at room temperature. Evaporates more quick than water. So imagine how quick it's going to go back to its origin. Yeah, that's right. It has to go back to its origin. Everything has to go back to its origin in such regard. Okay, as the water evaporates, it goes back there. It fills up the reservoirs again. It's the same with the gas, the natural gas reservoirs. But with coal and with rocks from fracking the gas, they can't go back there, can they? And if they are, which one day they might have to, then people are going to have to actually engineer them and to put it back that way. They're not going to go back there naturally. So what's happened is, what's left is these big chunks of the earth taken out. You got millions and billions of tons of coal being, extracted or dug, mined from the earth, and they're destroying all these forests where these animals live, and you got all this ash left over. That it's a major hazard. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And you got the same with the fracking and all these chemicals to extract a tiny little bit of gas, and all the water that's misused in that ridiculous process there. When you got a big massive reservoir of natural gas that's hooked up to almost every home in the whole entire earth, but yet a person hasn't connected it up to the plants to power to make the electricity, to fire up the water to boil for the steam to spin the turbines with, because that's how they work. Other ones just have turbine engines that work off natural gas. So why isn't anybody hooked up yet? They're still living in the olden days off coal. It's unforgivable. Just quit it. Just hook up the gas and that's it. And and you've probably got people asking, what about solar? What about wind turbines, like off the wind? But you can't dictate how much wind there's going to be, or sun. You can't know how much there's going to be. So in such regard, with respect to them, they're always connected to but the backup plants, the grid. That's why anybody that has solar to their houses, it's always connected to the grid, because they need to have a backup, because it's not guaranteed it's going to work. Some people have their whole entire house with solar panels, and it doesn't even generate enough to use a lot. It might generate most on a lot of days, but think about it. If on a good day you're producing more than what you need, you're going to be producing too much. And there's always going to be that days where it's cloudy and there's not much, hardly anything coming through. So you've got people putting it all over the whole entire earth where there's grass. The grass requires the sun for the water to evaporate, for the photosynthesis and for it to rain again. And there are these solar panels all over the whole entire earth, and when it's not needed for that. That's not what it's for. It's not what the earth is for. It's not what nature is about, to have solar panels all over everywhere, as if it's all good for the earth. When you got a whole entire reservoir of gas that's ready at the source, how are you going to live? Think about it. Put some homework in, And then you got, these turbines that are all over the mountain, all over the hills and the mountains and offshore, that makes this loud noise that are, it's killing animals. Have you heard the sound it makes in the ocean when it's going? Have a look. Look it up on the Google or they Google it or on the YouTube. It's loud. The fish must be going through serious. What those fish are going through. You know, you gotta be gentle to the animals. You can't be cruel. You can't be that and just not care and it's all right. No, you got a whole entire reservoir full of gas that you can just pipe ready at the source and collect and then use, or just hook it up. It's already connected anyway. And all you need to do is just hook it up to the plants, and then just power the plants through the gas. It's easy. You need gas as a starting material anyway to light the coal, so why not just put the gas? Think about it. Be wise. Be intelligent. There's no need for this other stuff. And you got these people with these dams everywhere, going on about hydroelectricity, how it's supposed to be actually good for the earth. How is that good for the earth when you're obstructing a river flow, a river system with animals, with fish in it as well, and not only that, you're obstructing the flow, and on the other side it's going to become dry. It's going to become, the water needs to there's floodplains, natural that need to water the earth for the trees to grow and all that, and it's without the water there, it's a major, you're slowing down the Earth's rotation and everything, with big, massive rivers in China. Did you hear about that? Them putting that dam up, it slowed the rotation of the Earth. Imagine how that's going to affect the weather, and it's meant to be all good for the weather, you're saying, or a lot of people are saying. So, and get this whole carbon dioxide thing out of it, oh, carbon dioxide's good for the earth, or carbon dioxide's bad for the earth. Just quit it. Quit with the whole CO2 thing, because it's nonsense, alright? Okay, there's a practicality here. It's obvious what's right and what's wrong. There's only one answer to a question, what's wrong. In any mathematics, there's only one answer to a question. Be mindful about that. There's not all these other answers. You got people with the biomass and burning the leftover, leftover sugarcane, the bagasse. They're burning that to generate the plants. But yeah, if there's going to be enough for everybody on the whole entire earth, no, there's not going to be enough, is there? And that's you can incinerate that separate, and then you can do something else with that. But because as I was saying before, you don't need dumps. You don't need stupid little compost heaps as if it's all good for the worms, as if it's going to break down. What about the rest of the fucking worms on all the hills and on all the fields and everything? And you going on about your little fucking compost heap, and you want to fucking bury it as if it's good for the fucking earth, and you're fucking destroying all the grass. You incinerate it, you get the ashes and you sprinkle it left over. The ashes have the sodium hydroxide. It's a natural mineral in grass. It attracts the rain, it grows. Ashes is a mineral. It's in every plant. It is. You have a look at it. Go study and do your homework, and you find out about this stuff. Anyway, so electricity, yeah. You got a whole reservoirs of gas. Use the gas. It's already hooked up. It's already piped. It's already ready to go. Just connect it to the plants and get it going. Put an end to this coal. You got half of India, a big country with 1.5 billion people. About half is gas, yeah, but the other half's coal. Get off the coal. Just put it all on gas. Every home's hooked up to gas. Just put the pipe to the plant, and then everybody's happy. You don't have all this wastage left over. You don't have all the chemicals which are coming from it. All the dust and fucking people dying in coal mines and from the dust and everything. You got gas that's ready at a pipe. That's ready to go. That's already ready at the source. All right. You're not taking chunks out of the earth. You're not going with solar panels, putting them all over the earth. You're not putting stupid dams up, obstructing the river flows, and next minute the other side of the river's not got enough water, and then you're all imbalanced. No, you got a big reservoir in the earth full of gas that's ready at the pipe, that's ready at the source. Just use the gas. Just do it. It's so simple. It's so easy. That's the answer. It's obvious. It's natural. It's why it's called natural gas, because it's natural. Okay, just do it. I live in a place where it's all coal mostly. and I'm only just finding this out now, okay, after all these years. So you know what I'm going to do about it? I'm going to, you know, I'm going to do something about it. And it's not going to be that way for me for long either. I'm thinking about just hooking up all the lights to batteries and have infrared lights in the house with batteries, no wires. And then if they need a charge, you just hook them up to a little gas generator. And you can have a gas fridge. The fridge can be, if you've heard of gas fridges, they run better than electric fridges. They're quiet. They last longer. You know, it runs on a few bottle of gases for a whole entire year, and you just hook it up to the natural gas in the home. You don't even have to use propane, all right? And it's the same with the generators. You can hook up. You can make. There's adapters to make them. You can use your house gas to generate them, to fill them. There's little adapter thingos to convert it, so you can use your gas at home. So do that, and easy. Or you got the washing machine. You can just every time you put it on, just do it by the generator, or you can just make a gas one or whatever, or battery. But you probably don't want a battery that big. Or if it's necessary to always have that electricity going, you just have a grid. I'm not really too keen on a grid because I don't like electricity being produced all day when I'm not using it. It's a waste of electricity. I'd rather just have the batteries with this certain amount you need, and then you just charge it up whenever. And people are saying, oh yeah, but the batteries are mining and you're taking all this, you're digging up the earth for all these batteries. And if it's a proper battery, all right, you're not going to have to continue mining for that mineral. You can recycle the battery. You can mine a certain amount. You don't have to mine anymore. From my calculations, there's enough that's been mined out there already for everybody. Everybody. Well, that's if batteries for cars are not applicable, you see. Because, it's a big battery to put in a car, a lot big battery. I asked AI, how much lithium is needed to be required from the earth to be mined for 1 billion cars, for 1 billion cars, and said 8 billion tons. 8 billion tons of lithium. You know how much there is now? There's about maybe 3 billion tons. No, million tons. Sorry, not billion tons. 8 million tons of lithium for 1 billion cars. 8 million tons of lithium for 1 billion cars. And so you know how much is out there now? Probably 2 million tons or 3 million tons of lithium. 2 to 3 million tons, probably 2.5 million tons of lithium. That's how much is out there. Now, if cars, it's not applicable to have batteries, which most people don't like having batteries in cars because they take a long time to charge. When you can just put some gas in it, you can get a converter for the home and even fill your car up with the gas from your home. It's CNG, compressed natural gas. You can get a compressor, hook it up to your home gas, and then have a compressor, get your car converted to a compressor tank, and you just fill it up with CNG, compressed natural gas, and you can just fill it up at home whenever. You fill it up, and then you got your gas filled up in your car, and it's a clean burning fuel. It's not going to smoke off. You don't even need a filter on it as petrol or gasoline cars. They've got fucking these filters on it with this platinum in it that everybody's stealing off people in their cars as of now. No, you got gas. You got natural gas, CNG. Doesn't need it. It's a clean burning fuel. It's ready at the source to use. There's no other processes to make it. It's ready, and that's it. And you can just use that in the car, and that's obviously what it's there for. So natural gas, use it. That's so So get a clue, get a mind, get a can, and start doing it. So that means that 2 million tons or which is enough lithium at the moment. That should be enough to get everybody, if batteries are applicable, which the phone has batteries. I'm using a phone right now, batteries for little things here and just for little things, and there's enough already there for everybody, obviously. So, find out how many people there are on the earth first, because I believe for every death there is the offspring. So that means there is always the same amount. There is always the same amount of people on the earth at any given time. And if you see my other posts, you would see there is a time frame. The earth each year shifts on its axis. That's something they didn't teach you at school. You know why? Because maybe they forgot, or maybe they don't want to know about it, because it suggests there is a time frame, and people don't want to know about a time frame. They're all saying it's billions of years old because of fossils. When fossils, have you ever what a fossil is? Have you ever looked up the word fossils? Well, I did recently a few years ago, and I found out a fossil is a rock that looks like a bone, the same as a bone, meaning that somebody found it, and because it was shaped like a bone, they said it once was a bone, that it must have been, because there's no other way for them to describe it or to say what it is. So they fucking reinvented, they come up with this theory of fossilization. And then there, you got dinosaurs. Imagine, they're saying that a whole entire bunch of civilization of dinosaurs were on the earth that got destroyed when, how many fossil, how many they've found of these fossils, supposedly fossils. Hence, if there was a big, massive civilization of these animals, don't you think they would have found more? You know how many more they would have found? There would be a lot more. It'd be fucking all over the place. But there's not. There's these little, things here and there, and they're saying, going on about, being this whole entire system. No. There's a certain amount of years to the earth. Each year the earth shifts on its axis. It changes its spot in the space at the equinox. It's in either takes around 2,000 to 2,500 years, 2,500 years to be either one or the other directions of the zodiac. That's the astrological ages. Okay, and it goes the other way. It goes backward to the monthly zodiac, because the Earth, when it shifts on its axis, it goes the other way. Whereas the Earth rotating, it goes the other way to its rotation. So it shifts the other way. So it's shifting with the ages, so it goes backwards. So we will go after Aquarius. No, it goes Pisces and Aquarius rather than Aquarius Pisces. So now it's Pisces going to Aquarius. It's meant to be the promise of great advancements, great peace and learning upon the earth. Whereas on the other side, opposite to now, around 12,000 years ago, you got Virgo crossing to Leo, which is meant to be the bad area. You got the Sphinx, and the nun's headdress, or the Virgo on the lion's body, and these pharaohs with the Virgo, they were all things hooked up to the stars, and they'll know what's going on like there, but they were losing their technology. That's why they became lost, okay? And now they were in a state of losing. But now's the time to be knowing everything, to be going towards that, to be, everything's beginning now, the knowledge. That's why you're seeing great things happening on the earth. Now, there's a lot of still bad things there. There's a lot of very bad things, but that has to be overcome, okay? So people got to start believing now. It can be done. There is a certain amount of years, and look up these things: astrological ages, the equinox, the shifting of the earth on its axis. Look at it. Look up for it. It won't specifically say there's a time frame, because people became very ignorant to that from all these other indoctrinations of these supposed religions. It's not really religious if they're ignoring the time frame. They're being irreligious. They're mistranslating the way, and you got these supposedly science people. It's not really science if there's a time frame and they're saying it's a big bang and there's billions of years old, and there's given no time frame. They're saying it's forever infinite. The earth is finite. The universe is finite. Finite, correct. Infinite, incorrect. Okay, finite, adequate. Infinite, inadequate. So finite, there's a certain amount of things that works within that. It's either affected by good or bad. And being that it is either affected by one or the two, don't you think if there was a time where everything was bad, like now, like earthquakes, disasters, all these disasters, wars and famines, and that was, prevalent and always happening, don't you think it would only be right for that to go away and for the happy things to be, isn't it? For everybody to, to be with their spouses, to feel good, waking up and feel strong, feel good and fit, and everyone, not going to the doctors and getting injured, getting all this nonsense happening and arguments and all that. No, being happy and fit and healthy, and knowing how many years you got to go, and looking forward to life and being good and good things, and having things and not struggling, So that's what it's all about, and so that has to go. With the knowledge must come fulfillment, isn't it? Because people that don't know, they're the evil ones, right? The evil doesn't know, so they end up succumbing to that evil and then suffering from it. There's no fulfillment there. So hence, so that's why the knowledge must come fulfillment. So once you know, you can then benefit, and then you can, it has to happen. It has to be now. It has to be around this period. So in respect to, batteries, say, okay, lithium, the time has to come for this, if it's not meant for cars, then has to basically, the mining for lithium must end now. Okay, it must end now. If cars, if it's needed for cars, if it's practical, if it really is, then it probably, take another probably 3 to 4 years to get to that 8 million tonnes. And that's it. You don't need any more. Okay, for every death there is offspring. So again, you got to denounce all these fucking statistics out there, because they don't know how many people are dying in wars and in countries they're not even allowed to go in. They don't know how many people's being born out there. They're not counting them. You really think they're going to give you the correct answer? And by the same token, you really, they're saying that there's too much, and you've got these other people that are saying there's not enough. So you got both these people arguing against each other. You got Bill Gates out there going there's too much, and you got Elon Musk saying there's not enough. And at least Elon is like, he's for supporting the earth and being a bit worried there, and he's trying to do everything he can to to support, to build up everything. But you got Bill Gates is it's as if this big conspiracy thing's going with these vaccines and all this nonsense, and he's saying, there's too many people, and it's as if he's trying to do the right thing, because it's as if he's seriously worried. But you can't not support. You got to try to support everybody with life to build. You can't just put a thing of poison or a thing to kill everybody and to be a genocide secretly, and as if it's okay. No, you got to support life. That's what it's all about. So again, there's not too much. There's not too little. There's always the same amount. The beehive is a good example. If you've ever heard of the beehive, after the adults are finished, they die and the offspring comes, and there's always the same amount. The adults die after the hive when the offspring comes out. And it's the cycle. The bees. So. That's a good example. That's the first example I saw shown to me that got me questioning, and after a few years, after continuing to, trying to find answers, I came across, I realised that, the bad and good, that there has to be good if it's always bad. What about good? Can't it be good's turn? It has to be good for, surely some good things must happen and the bad has to go away one day, and that, and I realised that, and then I was, I'd done more homework, and I came across the astrological ages. The ages were already there, but it's as if I never realised it before. And I'm guaranteeing that's with everybody. As soon as I realise, you'll get a bit of a spark. You would think, hang on a minute, how come I never realised this before? Now you'd be asking yourself why you never realised it before. When it was there, and you know it was there because it's been mentioned in tiny little things, but it's never been emphasised, like the importance of it, because everybody's caught up with the idea that the earth goes for millions of years, or this person that's name's God created it, and then he's going to destroy it at a certain time, and so there's nothing really going on there, and people forgot over the years. So I use this formula, okay, for not forgetting, for not, for keeping a good memory of it. Okay, I use this formula, and I've put it in my post before. Chicken equals angel food, thus be angelical, because the chicken has the wings. You eat the chicken, you thus become angelical. The word angel is Hebrew. It comes from Hebrew. It's a Hebrew word. It means a correspondence to God, or corresponding in God. In God, to have God as its quality, to have godliness, to be godly, a godly person. Okay, hopeful, careful, godful, hopeless, careless, godless. The God, to have God. They're not some mythical creature out there, but that's the picture that's been given, maybe through people not forgetting in the past about it. So that was left over, probably these pictures of these people with wings that ate a lot of chicken all the time. So I figure, chicken equals angel, thus be in correspondence in that regard, and have the translation there. Whereas don't be have a lot of people are having now, the cows, goats and sheep, the bulls, goats and sheep, they all have horns. So horns equals Satan. So thus don't be satanic.